let's have a discussion on the 2025 BECE Literature questions, the dilemma of a ghost. All right, so we have Nana. Yes, I'm sitting here. So you thought I was dead? No, I'm not. Go home, good neighbors, and save your tears for my funeral. It cannot be long now. Okay, so that is the first extract. Let's go on to our first question. A. Who are the good neighbors? All right. So this one is a straightforward answer. Okay, who are the good neighbors? There are two good neighbors. We have first woman, okay, and second woman. All right. So if you've read the drama, this shouldn't be a difficult one to answer. Our next question, B. It cannot be long now. Okay, so why does Nana think she will die soon? All right, so when you read the drama, you'll find out that Nana was not happy about the fact that Ato was marrying someone she claimed was a slave. Okay, so that was the reason why she lamented that she was going to die soon. All right, so why does Nana think she will die soon? The simplest answer that I can think of here is that she was heartbroken over Ato's marriage to Elegy. Okay, she was heartbroken over Ato's marriage to Elegy, or you could say that she was devastated because of Ato's marriage to Elegy. All right, let's all remember that Nana claimed that Elegy was a slave. All right, and because of that, she wasn't in support of the marriage. The next question, which is the C. Nana is in a or an dash mood. Okay, Nana is in a or an dash mood. So which mood was she in when she made these pronouncements? All right, so she was in a sad mood. That is the simplest answer that our students can provide. Okay, someone will say Nana is in a devastated mood. Okay, is in a devastated mood, but I think the simplest one that all our students can relate to or spell well is Nana is in a sad mood. Okay, but let's move on to the second extract. All right, we have Kobina Eyi Aqua, a wreath of tears. A wreath of tears. Let's read the extract. Your funeral was so quiet and small, almost too small, it is said, for a man of your stature. You must have preferred it that way. First question, he says that the poem is an example of a or an. The simplest answer here is that the poem is an example of an elegy. What is an elegy? An elegy is a poem that is written, okay, in memory of a dead person. All right, a poem that is written in memory of a dead person. Okay, and this one, Kobina Eyi Aqua, wrote this poem in memory of Osofopon SB Isamu. Next question, we have question E. You must have preferred it that way. The above lines show that the dead person was. Simplest answer that I can think of here is humble. Okay, he was humble. Even though he could have made a show out of his funeral, he preferred it, or he preferred that it should be done, in a quiet and humble manner. Okay, so the above line show that the dead person was humble. The next one, we have Evelyn Tulihant's Mama is a Sunrise. All right, so let's move on to the extract. When she comes slip-footing through the door, she kindles us like lamp coal lighted, and we wake up glowing. She puts a spark even in Papa's eyes and turns out all our darkness. Let us look at the first question. The literary device in turns out all our darkness is, Okay, there's the most appropriate literary device here is metaphor. All right, but let's explain why it is a metaphor. So we are comparing Mama's presence, that is the she, Mama's presence, to light. Okay, because when we are saying that she turns out all our darkness, we are talking about light, and we are comparing her presence to light without the use of like or as. Okay, so that is a clear metaphor. Okay, turns out all our darkness. All right, so darkness here is not a literal darkness. We are talking about pain, fear, agony, okay, troubles, problems. Okay, so the appropriate literary device here is metaphor. All right, Mama is a sunrise is an example of which literary device? Okay, Mama is a sunrise is an example of which literary device? And this one is very simple. It is also a metaphor. All right, it is also a metaphor, comparing Mama to a sunrise. Okay, you see, the first one, we compared Mama in the answer F. We compared Mama to the light, which is turning out the darkness. This one, we are comparing Mama to sunrise. Okay, without the use of like or as. Okay, Ernest Hemingway, A Day's Wait. All right, so let's read the extract. I thought perhaps he was a little light-headed, and after giving him the prescribed capsules at 11 o'clock, I went out for a while. Okay, then the question, H. One thing that made Charles' father think the boy was a little light-headed is, okay, so whichever answer you choose here should correspond to the sentence question, okay, because it is a continuous question which needs an answer. So here there are three instances. The first instance was that while Charles' father was reading to him, he wasn't following. Okay, that's the first instance. Then the second instance was that he was also looking strangely at the foot of the bed. And then the third instance was when the boy insisted that his father went out of the room. Okay, so the simplest answer here is, so let me read the question and add the answer to it. Okay, so one thing that made Charles' father think the boy was a little light-headed is while he was reading to him, he was looking strangely at the foot of the bed. Okay, is that while he was reading to him, he was looking strangely at the foot of the bed. So whichever instance that you choose out of the three should work. Then the second question we have, what exactly did the writer do when he went out for a while? So in the story, it is said that Charles' father went out for a while, and the question here is, what exactly, the underlined word is exactly, did the writer do when he went out for a while? Okay, so he shot 2 quails, if you want to be specific. All right, he shot 2 quails. That was exactly what he did when he went out for a while. How did Charles feel at the end of the story? So at the end of the story, Charles felt relieved. Okay, or the simplest answer here is he felt relieved. And the reason is that, Charles throughout the story thought that he was going to die. He was anxious over his temperature, okay, and the level of his temperature. He thought that because his temperature was not normal, he was going to die. So it was his father who explained to him that it is like miles and kilometers. So after listening to the explanation and understanding the explanation that he wasn't going to die, he felt relieved at the end of the story. Thank you very much for staying to the end of this video. If you want more of such videos, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.